Good morning. It's me, Pearl, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are here to look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find these energies in, we can expect to see them reflected back to us from our external environment, from the people around us, because those people are mirroring back to us the energy that we're putting out. So if we want to see changes, we need to make changes within. And that's what we look at here. So we can figure out how to shift our energy and manifest things that we would like to see in our world. Divine masculine gets to go first today because he's showing all of his cards. He is overthinking. He is overfeeling. Divine feminine also doing some overfeeling, but her head seems to be in some kind of order. Although I don't really know about that. In terms of the balance of cards, we're in order, but I don't know about the content. We have some union right out the gate. So let's get going, shall we? Top of the deck. Overall headspace, forefront of the mind for the divine masculine. 5 of Wands. So, stuck, blocked, fighting with himself. Not divine feminine this time, though. There is not an energy here where I feel that he feels that they are actually fighting against each other's energy. It would seem at this time there's a feeling that he doesn't feel that divine feminine is fighting him. It's just more that he's in this sticky energy and fighting against his own urges, fighting against inertia. And I say that because the niggling thing in the back of his mind is this is taking so long to do. He has this offer. It's solid. He's, been methodically plotting forward with it for some time. And there's constantly been these obstacles. And I think what we're seeing him realize is that the obstacles, the timing, it's been about clearing these blockages that he has. And so I don't necessarily feel this as a stuck energy, like he's thinking that he's stuck right now in the moment. It's actually more a reflective energy about the past, that he was fighting against himself, and that slow moving energy both caused problems, but also created a buffer of time, as we like to say, for the first thought in his mind, which is the 9 of Wands, healing of deep inner child wounds. And he's gained a lot of strength and resilience from having actually faced the fact that the sticky energy, the slow moving energy that came from blockages from self, and that it really wasn't about the external obstacles. In fact, those external obstacles presented as convenient reasons for why there was this block. But the real block was that he had wounds that, just like divine feminine, and I mean, this is literally the same story for the both of them. The real block for the both of them is that they had deep inner wounds that caused them to fear what they wanted and protect themselves from it. I had a conversation yesterday with one of my sisters in my coven for Imbolc when we got together, and she was talking just a general comment, and she made a comment about women adorning themselves in Italy, wealthy women adorning themselves, and there was a certain group of women she felt were arrogant. She started talking about it, and then I thought about that. I related to what she was saying, and then I was like, oh no, wait, that's a blockage, because what you're seeing, because she said something about their outfits being able to feed 3 families. And I was like, ooh, it's interesting because you're trying to manifest more abundance for yourself. But then if you fear that people with that kind of wealth are somehow thoughtless about others, or, selfish, or that they gained that wealth in a way that is not healthy, or if you have some kind of belief about people with money, then if you're trying to become somebody that is themselves abundant, you have a limiting belief about what type of person has that, and you will not want to be that type of person. So you're you're projecting both the desire for more and the fear that having more will make you like this limited belief you have about these people that have what you don't. So there was that like moment we were like, oh shit, like we had to really be careful of those projections. And so both of them have had to go in and do that healing of those limiting beliefs, that because they were afraid of what they wanted, they were continuously protecting themselves from it. And then these real world obstacles would present themselves conveniently to represent that stuck energy that they had, where they were asking for something they feared to have. And so they're saying, please, can I have it? But I'm really scared to get it. And the divine is like, okay, well, I guess we just don't do anything, because there's really, you're free, but right. So he's really having an awareness now that has been the reason for the slow moving energy. But he has been moving forward now from these blockages, because the next thing that comes up is the Five of Pentacles in its reverse. So we're looking right at his blockage, which really was the same as Divine Feminine. It was lack mentality, right? In that conversation I had yesterday, that abundance was blocked by the belief that people with the abundance were somehow not good people. And so you can't have something you're afraid will make you not a good person. To understand that and reprogram it allows you to unblock it. Divine Masculine is having that same experience in terms of the union between himself and Divine Feminine. Both of them have been kept out of the cold. Both of them have felt a lack of love, physical expression of this love, communication, etc. And it's been because they were afraid of whatever their fears were about having it. It could have been the same fears, most likely, in terms of twin flames, very similar fears, or opposite attracting fears. One fear is being controlled, the other is controlling. One for, something like that. And so there's been an idea that they can't have love for whatever their own reasons are. And that's what they've been healing. And both of them, I love that this is the Divine Masculine headspace right now. Both of them, he feels, have been working really hard at this. There is not an energy here of working against each other. That's what I'm saying with that Five of Wands. This energy is of working together on the things that kept them apart. And they have been doing that out in the cold from one another. They've been doing that on their own, but they're finally coming out of that place to come together to be able to heal what it is that has prevented them from being in a healthy dynamic with one another, or with anyone really, because they're realizing too that if they haven't been healed enough to come together with the person they love most of all in the world, then all the relationships around them are suffering somewhat, because there's some part of them that is afraid of abandonment on all levels. The next thing in his mind is strength. And that is what's clarifying the Nine of Wands. And we have the strength image again in the Nine of Wands for the Cosmic Tarot deck. So we're really seeing here the awareness on Divine Masculine's part that these wounds have made them both stronger, and that he really found a lot of his strength from the modeled behavior that Divine Feminine presented. And that he's also been doing his best to be able to control his pride and ego in regards to the length of time it has taken for him to do what it is that he needs to do. But he feels strong enough now to integrate the Divine Feminine energy in her Queen of Cups. So his own emotional command, being able to be comfortable, being able to be immersed in emotion and be able to tread water with ease and without almost any effort. There's sensitivity here, intuition, kindness, compassion. he sees his divine feminine energy inside of self as having started to really represent this. And of course, it's being reflected back to him from the divine feminine that he's thinking about. And this is who he wants to bring in from the cold. This is who he has suffered this lack mentality in regards to. And he's ready now to be able to control his pride and his ego and approach that divine feminine in his strength. He's also seeing her as just incredibly strong, having really held herself together during that time when she was outside in the cold. Like, he doesn't blame her for any of the reactions that she had. He feels like he got really mild, like he deserved worse than he got or something. There's a feeling that she was just really kind in the face of something that, like, he's feeling like, I don't know that I could have been like that. Like, he doesn't think he could have handled the situation the way the divine feminine has. We also have, clarifying the Three of Pentacles, a bit of overthinking. We have the Page of Wands, which is excitement. Like, this is very new energy for the two of them to really kind of be working together and not working against each other. And he maybe not in a point where they've been communicating quite a lot. They've only had these very small communications, maybe not very direct and maybe sporadic, but regardless, they're still able to kind of keep it together. Divine feminine is still keeping her cool in her mature energy and not being emotionally reactive. And he's excited about the potential that he sees here in the work that they're doing together, in this healing that's taking place for this relationship. And he's really thinking that they have finally released the codependent, toxic, addictive, obsessive energy that was associated with this, because they are finally at a point where they're no longer seeking fulfillment from one another's focus upon each other. Like, before, they were so hungry and thirsty to be seen and heard by each other because they really weren't wanting to do that for themselves. But the healing that they have done has taught them what they've needed to do, and they're releasing this energy. And he's incredibly excited about the new beginning that this promises, because now this toxic dynamic that has existed between them is passing away. Top of the deck, forefront of the heart space. Let me just see how much. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lots of overfeeling. Okay. Lots of feelings going on, but it's okay, because he's got that divine feminine Queen of Cups energy, hopefully hold it on the fort in the head space. Top of the deck for the heart space is the King of Wands, and it is in reverse. And look at the action that's in the gestural, like, this energy that flows through all of these cards in the Prisma Visions deck. This is one of swift moving action, and it's a big energy. It's really quite a lot of energy. It's in reverse in his heart space because he feels that it's not yet time to take this big action. There's impatience with it. He wants to make this communication. There's a reason why that's not happening, but his heart is feeling either not prepared to take it, not ready to take it. It also could be that he's controlling sexual energy, anger, things like that. This might not be anger towards divine feminine, of course. It really doesn't feel like that. It could be towards others or towards the external parties that he felt caused the blockages, and also towards himself, I'm seeing, because, actually, if we're thinking about the placement, that this is the forefront of his mind, that he's been fighting against himself. And then the center of his heart is this King of Wands in reverse. It could kind of be this disappointment and sort of anger and frustration at himself for having allowed these blockages to prevent this physical union, because the niggling feeling is that it's time, right? This Three of Wands. So there's an impatience with himself. There's a bit of an impatience with the timeline. There's a little bit of a resistance right now to kind of going in and trusting in the divine and really allowing that energy to just, the pieces are falling into place. Things are happening. He's just got to, like, it's time. It's time for me to take this action. It's time for me to make this big communication. I'm frustrated with myself that I've allowed these blockages to dictate my ability to do this fight, whatever it is. The first thing in his heart that's clarifying this Nine of Wands energy is the Star in reverse. So this is kind of exciting, actually. So normally I would say this is about, maybe the Star being about healing and hope. It's about the manifestation of the unconscious into the material. It has to do with divine feminine energy. It's embodied by, there's this divine feminine profile here that embodies this in the Prisma Visions Tarot. And when we see the Star in reverse, we could say, like, oh, it's a bit of hopelessness, but I don't always associate with that energy. We could say that it's somebody who's trying to remain hopeful. There's that. And I think there is a little bit of this element here, remaining hopeful during this period of healing, that he's really getting the strength he needs. But I think I'm going to go actually with the interpretation that I picked up from Eric from Positive Tarot Wisdom, who I do live readings with on Thursdays. And one time when the reverse Star came up, he told me this version that this feeling he had with it. And that's the feeling I have with it today, which is that when the Star is in reverse, the Star, which appears at the top of the card, is actually coming now down to touch upon the earth. And so there's a feeling there that hope that he's had, that he's been holding on to during that time of healing, we're kind of finally at that time when he's going to be able to achieve this wish, this hope that he has. The Five of Pentacles in reverse is clarified by the Queen of Swords, who's wrangling that beast in the same way that the divine feminine calls upon her strength to be able to wrangle that beast of the lion in the strength card. So divine masculine is seeing divine feminine in her strength in regards to this Five of Pentacles energy. And look, we've got the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords together. So commanding and conquering her emotions, conquering her reactions that cause her to go into this defensive energy, that cause her to block divine masculine or keep him out because of her feeling of lack, she's no longer engaging in this behavior. She's in her intellect, she's in her awareness, she's in the light traits of the Queen of Swords. She's not really giving him a hard time. And this is also true in himself. He's strategizing, he's planning, he's doing that work of conquering those beasts, those fears, worries, and anxieties that that Queen of Swords has conquered. They don't bring her down. They have no ability to take her down because she uses her intellect, the facts that she has, to be able to, push her fears away. This Three of Pentacles is being clarified by this Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands card in Prisma Visions is so different from all the others because we have the boat energy that kind of exists in the Six of Swords. But we have one person in this boat traveling alone to a better place. It looks like they're going from darkness out into that light. So there's this union here of Six of Swords and Six of Wands energy. We're seeing the victory. But the reason we're seeing a reversal is because divine masculine wants to share the victory with divine feminine. He wants this to be something that is shared together. This is interesting. Strength in his head is being clarified by the Magician in reverse again. So we're getting this energy of powerlessness in regards to pride and ego, and the divine feminine, the strength, the pull of her. He's really powerless to resist her. The connection to her is so strong. He feels like he doesn't have a tool that he would possibly work to be able to prevent him from wanting to go towards her. He's also trusting in the strength and eternal aspects of the connection, because at this moment, he's still powerless to bring in this reunion. Oh my God. I didn't realize how much overfeeling. I thought it was a lot, but it's even more than I thought. So the Three of Cups is clarifying this Queen of Cups energy, and there's powerlessness in regards to the Three of Cups. So there's a third party energy here. So I think what I'm seeing is just divine masculine's fear about this queen potentially getting into a third party situation somehow before he can come in, and understanding that he's really powerless to prevent something like that because of this divine feminine strength and independence and magnetic attractive energy. So he's got some fear about that in his heart space, and that's why he's chafing at, like, I need to make this communication. I'm taking too long. It's time for me to do something. I really need to, finish this healing process so that I can move forward towards that, my divine feminine, because I'm afraid the third party energy could come between us once again, and I'll end up back in that Five of Wands energy. And this is what he's obsessed with right now. Now look at that. In his headspace, he's excited because he's feeling they're releasing the toxicity in their relationship. In the heart space, we're seeing the toxicity that's still there. But let's get the clarification. Oh my Lord. Okay, the clarification for this overthinking. We've got excitement in regards to releasing toxic energy. We've got the obsessive fears, loop thinking, addictive, codependencies, etc. Look what's clarifying it. The Page of Wands. We've got Page of Wands, Devil, Devil, Page of Wands. The Queen, can't hold on to it. The Queen of Pentacles. And then, I shit you not, the motherfucking Empress. Excuse my language, it's early in the morning, 10:11 a.m. here in sunny Los Angeles, but I'm an Italian girl from New York, so what can I say? The motherfucking Empress! So let me break this down, because we've got his headspace. I'm aware of this Page of Wands energy. Here it is. I'm excited. I'm feeling that's head and heart. I'm so excited about the potential here. This new beginning. In releasing my fears about codependency, toxic behaviors in this relationship, I will manifest my specific, because Queen of Pentacles is a specific person, a specific individual that has been in his mind. I am going to be able to be in a healthy, not toxic relationship with a specific Queen of Pentacles that I want to be with, who is my Empress. Worth waiting for, because this is a card about being worth waiting for. That's divine masculine's headspace. Okay. And heart space. Let's go over to divine feminine. We have some interesting energy for divine feminine. Got a little bit of struggle here, but lots of good things. So let's dig in. Top of the deck, overall headspace for divine feminine, strength. So yeah, union. Both divine masculine and divine feminine are in union in the fact that they think of the divine feminine as being relatively the strongest one in the connection. And Divine Feminine is definitely doing her work to control her pride and ego currently, because we are at a point in time now where she has sort of relaxed into her role, which is an empress, really, that is like, okay, well, I know my value, I know my worth, I know what I'm capable of, and I know that I will see a return on my investment, whether it's this specific iteration or not. So she's really, really having to be strong. She is seeing, I think she's being strong in regards to looking at herself. And she's definitely controlling the ego. There's definitely a lot of work being done to, not allow the ego to be making decisions. The niggling thing in the back of her mind is a choice. And she made it. She made some kind of a choice at this point, because we're not standing here kind of like going back and forth over which decision should be made. She's made her choice. She's chosen to be strong, to control pride and ego, to be, to believe in the eternal aspects of the connection, just like Divine Masculine. She's chosen herself, because that's who's in this card, and her own strength and her own well-being, but she's choosing to believe in the strength of the connection between these two parts of self, that they will endure, that they can go forward. The first thing on her mind is Knight of Swords. She's not doing this blindly. She's being truthful. She's being honest with herself about the ways in which her ego has been very toxic in this connection. And there we have, again, the Devil card in reverse. And it is in the headspace of both Divine Masculine and Feminine energy. So that's unity. The Divine Masculine relationship with the Divine Masculine, the toxic energy, the codependencies, the obsession, focused constantly on trying to have this, fulfilling something that wasn't at all about her health and well-being. It was about her ego. That's what she is working to control and release, right? And she's being very honest with herself about her role in this. She's also seeing some clarity, communication, perhaps awareness on Divine Masculine's side. She's experiencing some truth from him. It might not be direct, but in some cases it could be. But there's definitely a sense that she's seeing the truth about the Divine Masculine, either because he's telling her or she's just using her intuition to see this. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse. So we see Divine Feminine mentally trying to slow her roll here a little bit. She was moving at Mach speed for a second. And she felt this Divine Masculine energy rushing in that Knight of Swords. But there's been a bit of a slowdown. And in the past, that has caused her a lot of pain. But because she's not in that ego energy, because she's releasing the effects that has over her, we're seeing here this feeling, the overdue end of separation. This came out yesterday. It's in a different position today, but it came out again. And what I'm seeing this in regards to right now is what has slowed down is the fulfillment of the end of separation, the arrival of this Knight of Swords. He's not here yet, so there's been a slowing down in this momentum. But there's also been a slowing down in her by releasing that devil energy. She has slowed down the potential for her to cause another painful separation. So this is also being blocked right now because she's being very strong and not letting her ego, fears, and anxieties convince her that the delay that she's experiencing has something to do with her lack or the lack of love or anything like that. It's not about a lack of love. There's never been a problem in the love department between these two. That's what's made the situation confusing and frustrating. What has been a problem is the fear of accepting and receiving a love like that, feeling worthy enough to have it. So, because she's controlling this devil energy, she is managing to handle the slowing down of these messages that she's wanting to receive from this Knight of Swords, this clarity that she wants to get about herself. Even though it's not coming as quickly as she expected it, she's really in control of that. This Eight of Pentacles energy for her is in reverse, though. And we keep seeing this where there is this resistance to work right now. And I don't see this as work on self, because you're working. This takes work, right? Maintaining this peaceful relationship with this ego energy and being able to get it to just, not devour you. That takes work. So it's not like this is a divine feminine who's not working. She's working. But she's not working on her craft. She's not working on her passions. She might not want to be working for other people. She might be resisting having a job right now where she is indebted to someone else or has to do what other people want her to do. So there could be that resistance here, but she's not really working on, I think, her passions. And part of it she's understanding has been because she's had to release her ego in regards to them. When her ego was controlling the show, it was about the money, the wealth, the abundance, the fame, the fortune, whatever she thought she was going to get from these passions that she was, crafting, from her craft that she was doing. So when the ego was running the show before, she had a very clear idea of what this material manifestation would look like. Now that the ego's not in control anymore, she's not quite certain exactly how to work on her passions. She's also feeling a little bit scattered and not exactly sure of what to do because of this limbo period. She's in this in-between she's in. She's feeling, like she needs to be honest with herself about the role that she has played in putting herself into this limbo too. Being clear about like, okay, you're waiting for these messages and you're not focusing on your passion because you think that once you get these messages, then you'll be able to focus on your passion. But you know that that's a slippery slope. And the last thing on her mind is this Hierophant energy in reverse. And it's being clarified by the Eight of Wands in reverse. So it's really not a mystery. The marriage, the union, the physical union, the sacred union that she desires, it's delayed. It's not here yet. It was on its way. It was rushing in. And then it's just like suddenly like, not moving. And that's why she has to be strong. She also feels that she is really still working to learn her lessons in regards to these limiting beliefs. She's understanding that if it's not here yet, it's because there's still a little bit of work she's got to do in regards to this higher level lesson. But I want to emphasize here, I feel called to emphasize here, obviously, every single day we're doing these readings, and every single day we're seeing the energy, and every single day we're having different things being pointed out about the ways we can shift our energy. But I think we also just need to take a very deep, I just saw 33 on the clock and 10:22 a.m. on my, okay. This is a definitely important message. I think you need to take a deep breath and tell yourself that you are not broken and that you do not need fixing. Because I think there's a tendency here for myself, when I get a card like this, it's like, oh, I still haven't learned my lessons. I still have limiting beliefs. There's still work I need to do. Sure. But this is not work that needs to be done in order for you to be able to have X, Y, Z. It's work that must be done in order for you to enjoy X, Y, Z. And it is work that you will do forever. It is not work that you're going to do right now. You're going to, click off the reading, go grab your journal, dig out your limiting belief, and then divine masculine shows up, and then you're good. Yes, at some point when you journal, when you're reflective, when you meditate, if you go to a sound healing session, there is some point where you're going to stitch up these wounds when you discover you have a limiting belief. But it is not going to be that you have to do these things in order to be in physical union with the thing that you want. It is that as you come into physical union with the thing that you want, these are the lessons that you're going to be continuing to learn. Because one of the reasons why twin flames go into separation so often is this satisfaction of coming together. It feels so good, but the work that needs to be done is constantly being triggered between the two of them. So there's this feeling here of it like always having to work on something. And I think we just need to embrace that we actually aren't really broken or anything. This is just like, it's just like adjusting. It's like if you're hungry, you eat. If you're tired, you sleep. If you find a wound, you heal it. And it's not something that's going to prevent you from living your life because you haven't figured out exactly what your wound is or how to heal it. Or I don't know. I just feel like called to point that out right now. Top of the deck, overall heart space for divine feminine is the 2 of Swords in reverse. So the standstill that has been here where she's been resisting making a choice because she didn't want to hurt someone or lose something, or she's past that energy. She's made the choice. We've got 2 of coins in reverse, or 2 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 2 of Swords in reverse. So there's been a choice made. There's been a decision made. And for divine feminine, it's this. She's being courageous in this Page of Swords energy. She has chosen to pick up this sword, this new idea about herself, and sort of just fearlessly wield it and eke out the places inside of herself where those limiting beliefs are, bring them into the light, focus on them, shine a light on them, and help herself process them and move through them so that she can have spiritual fulfillment. That's definitely a choice she's made. I also feel that she senses the standstill between her and divine masculine is coming to an end, because divine masculine is working up that courage to do that same thing that she is doing and fearlessly wield that truth. Okay. First feeling in her heart space is the High Priestess. So this is a divine feminine who is completely trusting in her intuition in regards to the divine masculine energy coming in the Knight of Swords. It's also that she's having clarity about how much her intuition is her true guidance and how much power it really gives her in this priestess energy. And because she is really trusting in her intuition right now, and look at that. The High Priestess has all the tools of the tarot, right, in this card for the Crow Tarot. The next card up, the Magician. So we have 2 becoming 1. We have the High Priestess, divine feminine energy with all the tools of the tarot, and we have the Magician, the divine masculine energy with all the tools of the tarot. So divine feminine is trusting her intuition that her power is attracting the same kind of manifestation power that she's in her power, the Magician as well. Because she's trusting in her intuition, she has the power to manifest anything she desires. She's also feeling that divine masculine energy that she's invested in is in that same energy as her. Now, we do know that he feels a bit powerless. So he hasn't quite tuned in to his power the way that divine feminine it has. And she is holding divine masculine up in this vision of himself as the Magician, as very powerful. This is clarifying the devil energy in reverse. So divine feminine has used her intuition to tap into her power to be able to use the tools that she has to get a hold over this toxic energy that comes from that devil energy and release it. Freaking King of Pentacles. A match to Divine Masculine's Queen of Pentacles, of course. We have the Divine Couple there, and that's the Divine Feminine heart space and the Divine Masculine heart space, so in union. King of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. So this is what slowed down the arrival of this specific King of Pentacles. This is what she's aware of. She knows he's here. She knows that he's got this foundation, this stable foundation, that he's a provider, protector, that he's, you know, a man of the world. And his arrival in her life is the momentum, the motion behind that has slowed down. But it is not phasing her. We saw that already because of her strength. There's the union, head and heart. For Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, he sees her as the Queen of Cups, and there she is in her own heart as the Queen of Cups. She is not phased by the delay in the arrival of this King of Pentacles, because in her High Priestess energy, she trusts that she has the power to manifest a king to match her energy, that she can emotionally, that she has this emotional maturity in this Queen of Cups energy to endure the painful separation that has happened between them. And she's trusting in that separation because the High Priestess appears above and the Queen of Cups is in her intuition, is psychic. Trusting that this separation, not only that the end of separation is really here, but that the actual painful separation itself has served has served her, has helped her. And then we're getting the Hanged Man. Now, this is a lot of major arcana energy. We're getting the Hanged Man and its reversal over this Eight of Pentacles. And so there's a couple things going on there. Number one, she's gained the perspective that she needs, and she can stand on her own, and she's free and like dancing in this energy of having done this. The other thing is that she's feeling strongly in her heart space that it's time to come out of this energy of being paused on her own crafts and her own oh my God, this next card, the next two cards. The position is just crazy. I'm just realizing it. Okay. Sorry. So she wants to come out of this energy of having paused on her own passions in order to, because she was stuck in that devil energy and obsessive thinking, loop thinking, focusing constantly, maybe numbing, whatever, in addictions, etc., in regards to that Divine Masculine energy. And she really wants to come out of that and take the perspective she's gained and actually start to create something really beautiful here in the 3D with that Eight of Pentacles energy. The Hierophant is being clarified by overfeeling, which Divine Feminine is sharing with Divine Masculine, because the overfeeling is the Page of Wands. And we literally just got for the Divine Masculine energy. Oh my God, I can't even get all these cards because there's too many. Page of Wands. So that's 3 Page of Wands cards. Do you think that they're excited about this new beginning? Do you think they're experiencing these, small communications back and forth, helping them to release that devil energy, those fears and anxieties, so that they can come together? Because the Page of Wands is in the clarifying position of this King of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands in Divine Masculine is in the clarification positions for the Queen of Pentacles. So they're excited about the same thing. They're excited about being able to physically manifest, to actually have a really solid, amazing physical union here in the 3D. But then the overfeeling. Divine Feminine, right above the row that has the Page of Wands in it for Divine Masculine, we have the Six of Wands in reverse. And in the same row with Divine Feminine, we have the Six of Wands in reverse. They want a shared victory. They feel how close that victory is. They can taste it. They can taste it. And Divine Feminine is excited because she senses that this victory is imminent. And this is, for her, definitely a desire for this to be a shared victory and not one of just her victory alone. And there is a little bit of fear there about those rigid beliefs, limiting beliefs, outside parties, legal contracts, energies, past marriages, etc. There is a little fear there. But all in all, they're looking in union. So, all right, let's take a look at Divine Masculine's oracles. We have him in the light attributes of the lover. Great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. So Divine Masculine, you are really in your A game right now for this lover energy. And were I you, I should take advantage of that. You have released obsessive passion that harms others and self-destructive devotion. So you're no longer in that devil energy of obsessive passion. You are in great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of your Divine Feminine. But it is not obsessive. It is not trying to fill a void inside of yourself. Your guardian angel is here to help you remain optimistic as you grapple with that energy that's holding you back. Remember whose truth is the true truth. With enough attention to anything, the essence of what you have been giving thought to will eventually become a physical manifestation. And then as others give attention to it, they help it expand. In time, this manifestation, whether wanted or not, is called truth. Deliberate creation is about deliberately choosing those experiences you make your truth. So that's with that limiting beliefs. You can choose to believe what everybody else says about everything else. Or you can choose to believe that those things are true for those people. But your truth is one that you deliberately create. Divine Masculine, it is definitely right now a time to give rather than to take. If you're in that lover energy, that means you're in the place where you are ready to be giving and receiving. But right now it is time for you to give. Expect powerful change. Just expect it. And then transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. And I think with your Nine of Wands being the first thing on your mind, that you're incredibly aware of this deep healing that you've been doing, that you know that Divine Feminine has been doing. And just hold on to that knowledge that things are truly transforming. And then we are getting Peacock Spirit. Let It Shine from the Colette Baron Reed deck. The Spirit Animal Oracle. When is the last time you shook a tail feather and shined your light for all to see? Within each of us is a peacock spirit yearning for expression, and you are called now to show the world the gorgeous creature you are, for you are a manifestation of spirit. Come out from the shadows, Peacock Spirit says, and show your true colors so that others may be inspired to express their own exquisiteness. Dance as if you remember that you are made of stardust and grace, filled with life force, energy, and sparkling light. You are a channel for divine love, and your dance is one of a kind. Catch the light and help it to shimmer and dance in celebration of your good fortune of being right here, right now. Spirit wants you to be joyful so that others may get up and dance along with you. Divine Masculine, you're constantly being told to let your light shine. So just you're in that lover energy, and look how the center of that peacock energy, there's that heart, like just being heart-centered and then letting everyone see that. It's going to transform your life to do this. Ooh, Divine Feminine, look out, girl. You're in your shadow attributes of storyteller energy. So you're telling yourself some stories. This is making up tales that harm others. You need to be in the light attribute, which is the ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. And what I'm seeing here and feeling when I get this card, especially in its reversal, is what you're doing is with the lack of information, you are filling in the blanks. And we are incredibly creative individuals. So when you're filling in the blanks, you are filling in the blanks with some really creative shit. You're making up stories about when, where, how, what, why. And it's none of your business to make up those stories. The story that you want to make up is similar to the whose truth is the true truth card. Do you want your truth to be the story that feels bad? Or do you want your truth to be the story that feels good? Because you get to choose. When there is no story, because you haven't heard any words from a specific iteration of this energy, then your job is to either not think about that story that doesn't exist, or when you think about it, tell a story that is empowering. So watch your thoughts and let your emotions guide you. Saint Dymphna is here to help you with this. Excuse me. Letting your emotions guide you when you feel badly about the information that you're telling yourself in these stories. Saint Dymphna is here to be like, oh, you're getting off track. Let's tell a new story. That's the only thing that your emotions are doing. They're not hurting you. They're not causing you any problems. They are not making your life worse. Your emotions do not have that power over you. Nope. Nope. They are there merely to let you know whether the stove is hot or cold when you touched it. If it was hot and it hurt, then they're like, whoop, get your hand off the stove. Or if you go to taste something and it's bitter, oop, that's poison. That's what your emotions are doing. They are messengers from your inner guidance system that you were built with. You know, we were so excited when our phones had GPS. What do you know? You've got GPS inside of you, and it is your emotions. Follow them. Follow them. They tell you exactly how far you are from where you want to be. I can gradually change my vibrational frequency. There is no thought that you cannot eventually have, just as there is no place that you cannot eventually reach from wherever you are, but you cannot instantly jump to a thought that has a vibrational frequency very different from the thoughts you are usually thinking. So, you have to gradually build to the place where you can overlay your limiting beliefs with new ones. You can't realize, it's not like you wake up one day and you do some work and you're like, oh, I have a limiting belief that I don't know how to handle money, like that I can't handle money. And then you realize that and you're like, shoot, this is really holding me back. As long as I think that, I'm not going to be able to handle the money that I get. So I need to think right now, I can handle money. And then you go into the mirror and you're like, I can handle money. I'm not discouraging you from making those affirmations because I do think repetition is key in healing a limiting belief. And I do think affirmations work as you say them over and over, but they do not work alone. It is the idea that if you take Prozac, you're cured from depression. You are not. You have a way to manage the symptoms of depression, but you still have a lot more work to do to dig out from the place where you got into the situation where you became depressed. And the Prozac is supposed to help you. Affirmations, same thing. Go into the mirror. Say to yourself, I can handle money. But if you're saying I can handle money and your beliefs are nowhere near that, then at the same time that you're saying that, you're also fearing, I can't though. I'm shit with it. My whole family was shit with it. Everyone I know is shit with money. I don't know a single person. I don't know a single person who's good with money. Is anyone good with money or relationships? Does anyone have a good relationship? I don't know anyone with a good relationship, whatever it is. If you're really far from a place where you feel you can handle money and you're saying it over and over again, you're introducing a concept that is coexisting with a fear. And so the divine is in that place again. She wants money. She doesn't think she can handle it. If we give it to her and she can't handle it, she's afraid of how that feels. So I can't give it to her. I don't know. Just keep it the same. All right, status quo. Like, you don't need to be in status quo. You can gradually change. So instead of trying to jump from here to there, make gradual movements towards the idea of I can handle money. Start with I will set aside 1% of every single Venmo payment I get from a friend. If somebody pays me back $40, I'm going to save 1% of that and just do that. Eventually, after doing that for 30 days or whatever, you're like, oh, you know, I saved $15. Never done that before. I did it. I saved $15. And then maybe you spend it immediately. You're like, oh, I spent it all because I can't handle money. Like you're gonna keep having to build the trust muscle in yourself bit by bit by bit. A personal 55 on the clock, 10:44 on my what the hell? Okay. A personal issue reaches resolution. I also just saw 55:33. Full moon in Cancer. So something that's been going on for you, a personal issue of some kind, is about to come to this resolution. Emotions are running high, which is why Saint Dymphna is with you, Divine Feminine. Easy, very easy to get triggered in this very, very, what do I want to say, tenuous time. So emotions are running high because we're really close to the culmination of things. Your sisterhood is back. This was out yesterday. Priestess, mystic, teacher, and you had high priestess energy today. So I would say go to the sisterhood that you have around you. If you do not have a sisterhood, build one. A divine feminine energy who can help you manifest. Right now, I've got 2 sisters in my coven. We were 4 and now we're 3. We're actually having regular meetings, and we're starting to really help manifest each other's dreams, like putting our energy together to help hold the space and hold the vision for each other. So that's such a positive energy to have. Don't forget about this community of readers that's here for you. And you're getting skunk spirit. Know your worth, Divine Feminine. Divine Masculine gets this a lot, but today you're getting it. What do you value? What do you believe in? Is your best, most authentic self on display? Skunk spirit comes as a reminder that you can be proud of who you are and what you have accomplished. Know your worth. Not everyone will agree with you or share your values, but you can walk with your head high, knowing that when you express your integrity, others can feel your authenticity and will be inspired by it. Be who you are, and if your reputation precedes you, good. You have much to be proud of, and skunk spirit wants you to be your best self, the true you. So, know your worth. It's an interesting spirit animal, the skunk spirit. That black and white balanced energy that they bring inherently in their form. And we frown upon them because they come with this very strong smell, although they are very useful in our environments, in our garden environments. They're part of like our like ecological well-being, and torture our dogs and us when we have to clean a skunk dog. There's an interesting power that skunks have purely by their presence. You can smell them for miles. And, you know, it's funny because coming from the cannabis side of things, I'm often fond of skunky smells. So know your worth. The more dank you are, the more profound your authenticity. Oh, you know what? We didn't get, what am I missing? I'm missing a card. Oh, the goddess card. All right, I'll shuffle that at the end. Okay, we're at the bottom of the deck for the divine couple. These are the oracle messages for the both of you in union. Right now, you are both in your Midas energy with entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold and a delight in sharing life's riches. So you are not hoarding right now. You are no longer hoarding money or emotions. You don't have an obsessive fear of losing each other. You're in this really beautiful place right now where anything you do could turn to gold. And you're really excited to share this with each other. Saint Joan of Arc is here, and there was an emphasis on this card in leadership. You are a leader. So the two of you you're leading the charge here. You're coming into balance, you're healing, and you're understanding that process in such a healthy way. And you really are going to be able to help a lot more people do this. And Joan of Arc also is doing something that was, completely unheard of at the time. A woman leading armies into battle. It was just, it's really an incredible story. So because your story is incredible, you are doing something so innovative. You really need to embrace that role of leadership. Since every request is granted, I feel no competition. Each point of view matters. Every request is granted. There is no end to the universal resources that fulfill these requests, and there is no end to the answers to the never-ending stream of questions. And for that reason, there is no competition. So this idea here that the two of you have to compete with each other in any way, and this could be if you share a profession, in terms of like, I love you more, than like that kind of stuff. Like, I do more for you. And it's about compromising also. It's about understanding that every request is granted. So if you have asked for something, it will be given to you. And also, I think too, for that divine masculine energy, feeling worried about that third party energy, or divine feminine being worried about third party energy on his behalf, there is no competition right now. You all both feel that you are the only one for each other. Surrender to the divine. Just allow the divine to bring you together right now. Just surrender. Take a break. Life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. You've got overthinking, a lot of overthinking, and overfeeling divine masculine. We've got overfeeling for divine feminine. Just need to take a break, take a breath. That thing that I said about like, you're not broken. You're not broken. Like, you don't have to look at the stuff as like, I'm broken and I have to be fixed. You're just like, oh, I'm, what are you doing? I'm upgrading. It's not like your phone is broken. You're just upgrading it. You're just making it even better. That's all. And you're getting a newer card for me. This is Nightingale Spirit. Love is all around. In the darkness of night, Nightingale Spirit sings her song of love and hope, a harbinger of dawn, to remind you that the sun will rise again soon. You are so loved, and the illumination song of the Nightingale Spirit calls you to a new level of self-awareness and connection with the light. Yes, there is shadow and darkness, but love and prosperity exist everywhere, even in the seeming emptiness of space, darkness, and a starless night. Hearken to the message, letting the music of the Nightingale song remind you that love is all around. Feel it and trust in tomorrow's light, renewing your ability to recognize that the spaces that appear empty are filled with love and abundance, and illumination will happen soon. I am taking so much solace from that last part. Hearken to the message, letting the music of the Nightingale song remind you that love is all around. Feel it and trust in tomorrow's light, renewing your ability to recognize that the spaces that appear empty are filled with love and abundance, and illumination will happen soon. That is my message I'm taking. The spaces that appear empty are really filled with love and abundance. Beautiful. All right, so now we're going to close the reading with a goddess energy. This is this practice I've been encouraging those in my collective to do, regardless of gender, to balance divine feminine energy, which has long been in a state of oppression and suppression. We want to be able to balance it within ourselves, and to do that, you can take two hands, place them over your heart for 15 minutes at some point today. Repeat the mantra, my heart is the heart of the goddess. And you can focus on any divine feminine energy that you like in any modality at all, whatever resonates with you. And I just read these cards to share different divine feminine energies that have existed across cultures and through time. And we got Peacock Spirit and Peacock again. So very interesting. Hera is with us. Hera is an ancient goddess who, before she appeared as wife to Zeus in Greek mythology, was a powerful matrilineal queen in her own right. Hera is the original all-powerful, multifunctional goddess responsible for every aspect of existence, a symbol of the complete woman. Among the Greeks, Hera was the goddess of marriage, a special goddess of women who accompanies each woman through every moment of her life. Her various titles point to her roles as bringer of fertility, goddess of marriage, protector of children, of women during childbirth, and of money, and presider over all aspects of public life. She was often represented with a peacock, symbolic of beauty, luxury, and immortality. The spots on its feathers reflect the starry firmament, and the peacock has knowledge of the weather, reflecting the ancient role of the goddess as bringer of the seasons. Hera is a mature, powerful goddess, combining both practicality and nurturing, a strong image of the supremacy of the queen within. Well, Peacock and Hera. I love when that happens. And that blue energy, that speaking your truth, letting your light shine. Hey, I hope this was a good reading for everyone today. It certainly was very beautiful, and I did get a lot from it myself. So I do hope it was helpful to everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Please like, subscribe, share, click notifications so you know when I'm going live. You can always, of course, follow me on Instagram. I do post when I don't forget to, but I tend to post every day a time lapse of the shuffle process with the songs that came out, which I didn't mention today. But if you're interested in what songs came out and you want to hear the additional messages from those songs, they are on my Instagram in my stories. And today was about having a community. Divine Masculine had a community of friends around him or something, and that he was relying on or that were helping him through this time. And Divine Feminine was reflecting on a mentoring kind of an energy that had been with her and passed on, but that had given her a lot of information about herself and the world. There was a Tori Amos song called Toodles, Mr. Jim, and the Queen song, Friends something. Don't remember the name of it right now, sorry. But anyway, you can always see that on my Instagram if you're interested. The playlist for the lovers is going to be shuffled soon. I have all the songs, but I just haven't put them into all of the playlists that I need to do. And I just really need to do that today at some point. So I'm going to do that. Once I do it, I will shuffle it. And then whoever's song is chosen, you can win a free hour-long reading from me. Stay tuned for the next major arcana card that will be coming up soon once I do the shuffles for the Lover's card. Thank you so much for being here today. Have a great day. Take care, everybody.